Hi, and thank you for choosing Building Biology WA to come out and undertake a whole home assessment of your build. Now, this little video is just to help navigate through the very big report you will likely have received. You probably now have your electronic version of the report. Please note that we also send a hard copy of the whole home reports because they are a huge report. I find it very difficult to actually read from a screen a report that's that in depth. I much prefer to have a paper copy that I can make notes on, go back to sort of read a little bit, put down, or take with me, or even to read outside. So if you're struggling to open it on your computer and it's just not, sinking in, then I've got a few tips for that. I'm going to go through the parts of the report that I really want you to focus on, which is going to help narrow down the amount of the report that you need to read in the initial stages. Alternatively, wait for the hard copy to arrive. It will be much easier from experience to be able to go through and take the information from. So starting with the report itself, the first part that I want you to read and take in is the executive summary of the report. Now, you'll notice the first part of the report is a table which has the different environmental factors put into the categories of concern in relation to building biology standards. So you've got no concern, which is incredibly hard to achieve in a built environment because it is based on the exposures that we would have in a natural environment, so in our outdoor environment. The slight concern is really what we're going for in a built environment, because that gives us very close to natural exposures, but within the comfort of a home. The extreme concern and the severe concern categories are the ones that we want to be working on. However, when Emma and I go through and assess the build, we make sure that we are covering and focusing on the exposures that you have that are associated with the symptoms or the issues that might be going on within the build. So they're specific to the exposures and the people who are within the build. Now, the executive summary focuses or gives a summary of the exposures themselves, and then followed by the priority recommendations that we have put together, which we feel are the ones that are going to give you the highest reduction in exposure for the issues that are of most concern to you. Now, when I say issues that are most concern to you, we are not going to focus on, for example, a huge reduction in allergens if nobody in the family is that allergy type person or is experiencing any allergies, or and that's really not so much of a concern for that person, even though there might be a lot of pollens or something like that. If they're not reacting to that, that's not going to be a priority concern or priority recommendation that would be in the executive summary of your report. Now, because the report is designed not just for the now, so not just for the immediate steps that we want you to take, but as a guide as to how best live in your home and the kind of things that we would like you to progress onto as you move further down and further into the recommendations, just to create that home that we know is really unburdening and not creating any stress within the body. So the first part that we want you to read again is just the executive summary. We want the executive summary to really sink in along with those priority recommendations that are there. Now, you'll notice that if you've received this via email, that on the email, we will also have the priority recommendations as a secondary attachment there so that you can print that out. However, you will get a laminated copy of the priority recommendations with a great little fridge magnet on the back of them so that you can put them up just as a reminder of, okay, these are the only things that I need to be focusing on right now. Now, once you have moved through those recommendations, then I encourage you to start taking some time to go through the rest of the report. And what I would do is start with the things that you find are probably a little bit more important to you. For example, if you are experiencing SIRS or mold type symptoms, then you'll want to focus in on going through the rest of those recommendations within that category of the report. If you are someone who is very chemically sensitive, then you may want to focus on changing out some of those cleaning products and body products, getting better air quality happening and things like that as your sort of secondary priority to start moving through. And the idea being that over the next sort of, 6 months to 2 years, that you're going to be slowly moving through all the recommendations within that report. A similar kind of time frame to what you would be doing if you were sort of overhauling your nutrition and your diet. Now, the report itself has areas in it that you can go back to, like sort of uses a bit of a guide as far as if symptoms change or if health concerns change. And you'll notice that at the in the initial kind of pages of the report, there is a health table, which is just a tick box table, which shows you some common symptoms such as like headaches, allergies, I can't remember, chronic fatigue, a few different issues and the associated environmental factors with them. So you can always go back to that table at any time if something changes in your health and use that as a sort of a bit of a way to troubleshoot and then go to those sections and go, okay, maybe I do need to do a little bit more work in this section, or, maybe it is time to put those water filters on, or whatever it is that you may not have gotten to yet. You can use the report as that way. So it's really good to keep that hard copy handy. Now, within your professional fees that you have already paid, we allow an online consultation to go through and clear up any questions that you may have. It is a really great time to also discuss anything that you're finding difficult within the report to achieve and clear any overwhelm that you might be feeling, any confusion. And with any of the recommendations that we have provided within the report, we have tried to choose them as the easiest step to take to get the result that we want. However, if you're finding that that particular step is not achievable for you, is not within budget, or your circumstances have changed, such as, your husband's now working away and you decide to move, or whatever it is in your life that's happened, there are always alternate recommendations that we can provide for you. And that might be that you want an interim solution because you're moving house, or you are now having more children, or whatever it is that changes. We can definitely go through and help with alternate recommendations if you feel that they're not appropriate. For the most part, people use that time to go through and just ask as many questions as they want. Some people will do it because they're a little bit confused about the exposure, but what's critical is that you use that time that you've got with us to go through and make sure that you really understand, the exposures and can put them into context, that you really understand the priority recommendations that are there, and that if there's anything that you feel wasn't covered that you would like, and we can give as many recommendations on anything from a 16-year-old's deodorant to new flooring that you might want to be looking at, or anything like that. It is your time to ask those questions of us that you want. So go through, read the executive summary, take that information in, put your priority list somewhere where you can see it. Probably not in the bedroom, but somewhere, an active space where you're going to be able to see it so that you can tick those things off as you go through. Make sure you take the time to book the online consult with us. It's free for you to go through and clarify anything that you've got. It is really important to us that you get the most out of this service. And then keep your little report handy so that you can use it further down the track to go back, reflect on, see how far you've come, but also, to learn about different areas that you might want to delve into next, or learn a little bit more about, or you know, just go through in a methodical way, step by step, to create the most healthy home that you can. So I hope that helps. I hope you're about to dive into your executive summary, and I hope that we see you on an online consult with you. Thank you.